Hi, everyone. Jamie, Mackenzie, Mayada, Jesse, and myself, Sheila, are happy to facilitate the next few days with you. Jamie and Mackenzie has summarized our articles for you, and Jesse and Mayada have developed discussion questions to help us better understand the inner workings of phenomenology. We will be around the next few days to help support and contribute to your conversations. Before we dive into the phenomenology methodology and its historical roots, we ask you to watch a video entitled Moments. We think the specific moments and the essence of shared experience depicted in the video from Radiolab shows us how we can try to capture meaning from a direct human experience. According to Will Hoffman, lived experience is pre-reflective in that it is experience as we are in it, live through it, while not yet reflecting on it or making sense of it. We think that this is what phenomenologists are attempting to make meaning from. How many lived experiences could you relate to in the video? When we connected phenomenology and the concept of a moment, our group, and you may have too, quickly realized that qualitative researchers have a wonderful opportunity to share genuine stories with people in their community. Moments allow time for relationship development and trust amongst participants. We feel these pre-reflective times is what excites us with this method of qualitative research. We hope you can return to this video and consider each frame and how it can connect to your life and the memories they elicit. What is phenomenology? Phenomenology asks, what makes this phenomenon or lived experience unique and singularly different from other phenomena? We were provided an optional reading about phenomenology written by Katrina Eddles Hirsch called Phenomenology and Educational Research. She writes that phenomenologists perceive that human experience of the everyday world is a valid way to interpret the world. The focus then, in this type of research, is not on the participants themselves or the world that they inhabit, but rather on the meaning or essence of the interrelationship between the two. It seems understandable that phenomenology studies such intense emotions to find meaning. My 8-year-old son was curious what I was watching, and after the video, we thought of other in the moment experiences. And he said hugs are in the moment. There are so many different kinds of hugs, I told him. People hug when they miss someone, they hug when they need comfort, they hug to say hi or bye. And then my son said, or they hug just because they want to hug. So true, and so many ways to interpret those experiences. According to Dr. Krull's slideshow, Introduction to Qualitative Research, the philosophy of Edmund Husserl and his student Heidegger began the study of lived experience, of how people describe things and experience them through their senses. According to Katrina Eddles Hirsch in Phenomenology and Education, the different philosophical approaches to phenomenology include transcendental phenomenology, existential phenomenology, and heuristic phenomenology, founded by Heidegger. While these three phenomenological approaches have different philosophical postures, Hirsch argues they all follow four primary phenomenological concepts, these being description, reduction, imaginative variation, and essences, found on page 252. As you can see here, the transcendental phenomenology differs from the heuristic phenomenology, that Husserl was more interested in text, and now certainly multimedia play a huge role in studying text and lived experience. And Heidegger focused on people's meanings of lived experience or concept or phenomenon. In Chapter 2, Miriam and Tisdale describe phenomenology methodology. We will briefly overview the strategies of interviews, reduction, horizontalization, and imaginative variation. Interviews are the most common data collection. When we return to the notion or essence of interrelationships that we spoke of earlier, the researcher and the participants can develop a trusting, intimate, and self-revealing relationship. It's common for the researcher to write about his or her own experience of the phenomenon or to be interviewed by a colleague in order to bracket their experience prior to interviewing others. Despite the researcher trying to make subjectivity visible for both participants and themselves, bracketing is meant to put prior beliefs aside in order to fully be open to the experience which is unfolding in front of them. For instance, in a video, there is a young lady waking up in the morning. My first instinct is that she could be suffering from depression or anxiety, finding it difficult to start her day. If I were to research that moment, I would need to try to put my preconceptions aside as well as possible. As Hirsch contends, this allows the researcher to listen and record the participant's description of an experience in an open and naive manner. Reduction is similar to bracketing. Reduction also tries to help the researcher maintain an open mind and receptive to the experience. In a way, it encourages the researcher to remain true to the essence of the study. Horizontalization is thinking of all the data on an equal playing field until afterwards, when coding helps to cluster noticeable themes and patterns. Mustakas recommended that in order to carry out this step, the researcher needs to be receptive to every statement of the co-researchers experiencing, granting each comment equal value. This is from Hirsch on page 255. Again, the essence of the interrelationship rings loud and clear. Lastly, imaginative variation can be described as viewing a sculpture, which would be the researcher's data, from a variety of different angles or different perspectives. The idea of keeping an open mind plays deeply for the researcher so they can best understand the experience from the participant. Miriam and Tisdale say that the researcher should walk away feeling, I understand better what it's like for someone who has experienced that. Thanks so much for taking the time to preview our overview. We are really excited to share your experiences with us for the next 2 days. Take care.